Welcome back, paranormal fans. Tonight we are off to the fair city of Hull, Yorkshire, to explore the Annison funeral parlour, as requested by MaxLad19. 124 to 127 Witham is the address of one of Hull's most well-known ghostly haunts. Indeed, it even featured in an episode of Most Haunted. Now, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the show myself, I have to say, but the episode originally aired on season 16, episode 3, for anyone who would like to watch it. The Annison building is a Victorian-era construction, built primarily out of red brick with an extensive shopfront of large windows lining the street. The ground floor now occupied by a late-night pharmacy. The building stands on ground once occupied by the North Blockhouse, part of a defensive complex of fortifications which included a South Blockhouse and Leeds Castle. They were built by Henry VIII in 1542 to defend the River Hull from attack by France. During the 16th and 17th centuries, the fortifications were used to house Catholic recusants. The conditions in which they were held can only be described as ghastly, with few ever living to see the light of day again. After eventually falling into ruin, the North Blockhouse was finally demolished in the year 1801, with the Annison building eventually taking its place. The Annison family originally constructed the building to house their cart and wheelwright business. Unusually, the stables were upstairs, being accessed by a special horse-friendly staircase. They later branched out into other business ventures including cabmen, bicycle makers and mechanics. However, it was the funeral directors that became well known. The building was a funeral parlour for the next 100 years until it closed in the 1990s. On July 30th, 1891, 18-year-old Mary Jane Langley visited a photographer's housed in the same building just below the stables to have a photograph taken. Tragically, she never made it back home. She was found brutally murdered with a deep laceration across the neck, only yards from her front door. Her purse and watch had been stolen and the murderer had tried to hide her body in a drain. To this day, the murder remains unsolved, but the Annison building is one of the last locations she was seen alive. With such a deep and dark history, is it any wonder the place is haunted? Many staff members at the current pharmacy refuse to go upstairs alone. Frequent poltergeist activity and disembodied voices plague the upper floors. Knockings, tappings and a touch of icy unseen hands have also been experienced in the building, along with fleeting apparitions and shadow figures that stalk the many rooms and passages. Indeed, this photo taken of a staircase in the building appears to show just that. So is it a blur on the lens, a trick of the light, or just cleverly staged? I guess that's for you to decide, but one thing is for sure, the Annison building's reputation as one of Hull's most haunted buildings remains.